Haitians.
For your leadership on this. Mr. Speaker, I vehemently oppose this backdoor amnesty bill that would allow hundreds of thousands of Haitians who entered our country illegally to be given de facto amnesty. Temporary protected status, as its name implies, was originally designed to be just that, temporary. And yet it's metastasized into what is effectively a permanent amnesty program for unvetted foreigners all over the globe. And that's exactly what this bill extends. So who are these people that this bill applies to? There's roughly 350,000 Haitians covered under temporary protective status in the United States. Of those, an estimated 91% entered this country illegally. 69% came in and estimated under the Biden administration. In other words, what this bill does is codify open borders of the previous administration that the American people overwhelmingly rejected the last election cycle. Mr. Speaker, no serious country tolerates virtually unlimited numbers of foreigners breaking and entering. And yet that's what this bill does. But more fundamentally, Mr. Speaker, the purpose of our immigration system is to benefit our people. It's for the benefit of Americans. We have no obligation to allow anybody from any part of the globe to come into America. When they do, they come in on our terms, for our benefit. So let's ask ourselves, does mass migration from Haiti benefit the American people? The answer is obviously no. 65% of non-immigrant Haitian-headed households are on welfare. Does that make America stronger or more prosperous or more wealthy in any way? Of course it doesn't. And yet we're being asked to give them amnesty and make these absolutely horrendous years of open borders effectively permanent. Mr. Speaker, the central thesis of the last election cycle was the American people rejecting mass migration. That's why they gave the president the popular vote. That's why Republicans have a trifecta, and we ought to listen to them. The American people want their country back. The American people are tired of sending their kids to schools where an unlimited number of children are speaking foreign languages, or schools that are flooded with fentanyl because of open borders. Mr. Speaker, we want our country, we want to live in America. That's why I reject this bill, and I hope my colleagues will as well.
Today we are announcing federal charges against two men, Antonio Bonner and Saul Elisme, for large-scale SNAP benefit trafficking. These men abused one of the government's most critical safety net programs for their own financial gain. These defendants exchanged SNAP benefits for cash, which they pocketed. Over the last 20 months, the Jesuela Variety Store was redeeming between 3 and 6 times that amount monthly. Mache Mixe Store redeemed over $120,000 in SNAP benefits in the last 6 months. These two stores are alleged to have illicitly trafficked nearly $7 million in SNAP benefits.
Today, Secretary Markwayne Mullin, it has really upset many on the right by saying the following to Jake Tapper on CNN in an effort to mollify his concerns about that temporary protected status Supreme Court decision from last week, where the High Court said, you know, temporary means temporary. And if President Trump wants to revoke it for Haitians after 16 years or 18 years and Syrians after 16 years, he can do that. That's an executive branch function. He's allowed to do that. You know, he granted it. He can take it away. And, cue the meltdown from bleeding heart leftists. Oh, the Haitians, they need us. It's like, okay, go home. It's 18 years. So he goes on with Jake Tapper and says the following, which again, Laura Ingraham, many conservatives are like, what? Watch.
Will you be deporting all of them? Will they be all deported back to their home countries, Haiti and Syria? And when will these deportations start? Will it be immediately?
Well, Jake, first of all, temporary protective status was never intended to be permanent. And there's a lot of people that came over here 15, 20 years ago underneath TPS that's already changed their status. The whole time these individuals have been here underneath the temporary protective status, they could have applied for a visa. They could have applied for a LPR. They could have applied for different directions, but the status itself can be ended in its name itself by saying temporary. So these individuals have a couple of choices. They can try to apply for a permanent residence here. They can apply for a temporary visa if they choose to, or they can choose to go back. And if they want to go back, we'll help them with that. If I'm talking directly to the individuals with the temporary protective status, either try to fill out the paperwork and be here underneath a permanent status, or we'll help you get back to your country. We'll actually give you a plane ticket plus roughly $2,100 to help you reestablish when you get there.
Okay. And what people are upset about is him saying, you've got a couple of choices. You can apply still for permanent residence here or for a visa or go back. Whereas I think most people expected it was go back. You were here on a permission slip that's now been revoked. You did not do any of those applications while you were here on our invitation. And now that your status has been revoked, the answer is not for you to be doing applications. The answer is get out.
Yeah, so Markwayne Mullin, he got lit up by conservatives, including me, very publicly on X. I've also made my extreme dissatisfaction known very privately within Trump world to all the right people. I think he got the memo pretty quickly because he's been backtracking fast, very fast. And
He has
but I
on
would say
X.
this: how the hell is that your response? You go on a liberal network like CNN. We've been fighting for years to get these Haitians and Syrians the hell out of our country, and your response is to go kiss Jake Tapper's ass and explain, try to make this a plea to the left that you're trying to be as kind as you can. Get these people the hell out of our country. Biden let in over 20 million illegals into our country. They abused our system. They abused our generosity. They abused our goodwill. And people like me who used to be a lot softer on immigration 5, 10 years ago, I'm just as hardline as you can get. Get these people the hell out of our country. If and when the Supreme Court says that Chinese birth tourists and other illegals get birthright citizenship, we need to get all illegals out of our country fast, and we need to start with birthing aged women. Get them out of our country. We have zero compassion left for these illegal aliens. They've overrun our small towns. They've overrun our cities. They've brought in crime. They've brought in filth. We're tired of it. We don't want America to become Europe, overrun by Muslims, overrun by people who hate us. We don't want it.
Yeah, exactly. We've been really clear on that. That's why President Trump was elected in part. I think Kristi Noem understood that. I'm not sure why Markwayne Mullin didn't. And why, yeah, I agree with you. He went on in front of a liberal audience and tried to pander to them, which is the last thing. Like Stephen Miller would never make such a mistake. What's the deal with this Markwayne Mullin? Do we know, Mike?
I hope he doesn't have the IQ of a Haitian like we saw on CNN, but he needs to understand that this is not the Senate. You're in the Trump administration, and if you're going to bring your Senate weakness to the Trump administration, you're not going to last, because the American people,
Yeah.
Trump's voters, are not going to tolerate weakness on immigration. That's what keeps us united. And if Markwayne Mullin or his Oklahoma buddy he just picked to run ICE try to backtrack on full-throated immigration enforcement, especially after this birthright citizenship ruling tomorrow that's going to screw us, then there's going to be a loud call for his resignation.
Yes, yes. And as you point out, you know a lot.